everyone, it's Anne, and I'm here for my creative year this month tips or tricks or a book review. I don't know why I keep thinking book report. You know how when you were in college or high school or whatever and you had to do book reports? For whatever reason, that's on my mind. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a tip. And the tip is when you want to try out new techniques or ideas and you're not quite sure whether, say for instance you're going to do a canvas and you want to experiment with these techniques first to see if they will work or if they're successful, my suggestion is to start a personal journal, which this is mine right here, and using different techniques in your journal. And this is actually a composition book. I kind of like working out of composition books because I don't feel like I'm going to ruin the pages or do anything to ruin a really good journal. Some of the journals are kind of expensive and the papers can be very expensive. So my suggestion is that work out of a composition book. Get it prepped. Like what I usually do is I will glue several pages together, kind of like if you've seen Shannon Green's Journaling by Fives. That's where I started working out of composition books. She was my inspiration for that, and also for kind of prepping the pages, gluing a few pieces together to make it a little more sturdy. And then I like to finish it off by adding washi tape around the edges. Whether I cover the washi tape up or not, I don't really find it important to worry about that. So I'll use different techniques in my art journals, different ideas. Like I had some transparencies of famous artworks when I used to teach art. We used an overhead projector to discuss what artists we might be studying that week, and who the artist was and whatnot. So I kept this transparencies because the school district didn't want them back, so I ended up having them, and so I have quite a few of them left. And so I thought I'd try a different technique out, and that's what I did here. I used an adhesive type backing that's kind of see-through, so you can see through the transparency and see what's going on in the background of this piece, of this page. So this is a great way of experimenting with different techniques, different ways of doing things, gluing things down, collaging, all kinds of things that you can add to it, drawing, painting, just any kind of technique, any funky look. Like this was one I was working on, and I used different kinds of colors and it made her funky looking, and taking jelly printed papers and turning them into shapes for like a trees and things like I did here. So there's all different ways of doing this. So this is what I use. This is a tip. So when you're not quite sure how you're going to go about a canvas, try it out in a journal first and see if it works. If you don't like it, you can change it around. That's a great way of practicing and getting it on, your thoughts onto paper, and then using those thoughts and those techniques onto a canvas. So that is my tip. Now I'm going to go to the book review. So this is Doodling in French, How to Draw with Joie de Vivre. Joie de vivre means kind of like with happiness, with, a joie de vivre is like a sense of well-being, is kind of what joie de vivre means in French, kind of. So this is by Anna Corba, and unfortunately I can't show you the whole book because it basically says, all rights reserved, no part of this book may be reproduced in any form without written permission from the publisher. So I haven't written to the publisher to review this book to get permission. So I can't open the book and show you everything that's in it. but it's really cool. You learn how to do this Eiffel Tower. There's all kinds of little, like, French little things, like a croissant, and all kinds of other cool little doodles and drawings that you can learn to draw, okay? So I was inspired by the book, and I went ahead and did, where is it now, Anne? I did this page right here. So you learn how to do a little moon and stars and a bird and a fleur de lis kind of thing. I kind of embellished on it. Hers was a little more simple than mine in the book. And so that's what I came up with. So if you're interested, go check out the book. I got this on Amazon, so I'm sure it's still in Amazon being sold, probably still. I can't remember how much I paid for the book, but it's by Anna Corba, Doodling in French, How to Draw with Joie de Vivre. So it's a really cool book, and at the very end of this book, she gives you a few pages as practice to do your own doodles inside of it. So it's really cool. So it says here, bring more joie de vivre to your life, starting with doodles. Direct your casual sketches toward all that is quintessentially French by following simple step-by-step exercises. Trace the majestic tiers of the Eiffel Tower or sketch the playful outlines of a fleur de lis. Artist and collector Anna Corba's collages, packed with remnants of antique wallpapers, old stamps, lacy fabric scraps, and forgotten letters, provide the backdrop to her doodling instructions. Take pause from the routine and live la belle vie. Live a beautiful life is basically what la belle vie means. So yeah, so it's a really cool book if you want to do cute little drawings for, say, your art journals or something else. You can learn how to do these from this book. So thanks for watching, and thanks for coming by and checking out my tips and tricks and my book review. Thanks again. Bye. Have a wonderful day. Toodles.